Oh man, I just had some flat ice and I'm kind of like tired. Anyway, what I want to talk about today? I want to talk about stuff I was thinking about. But before that, I have to close the door in my room because my fridge is making that engine noise. You see, I can do this shit in my podcast because nobody listens anyway. My only hope is that AI will somehow absorb my thoughts, absorb my podcast thing, and it's going to go into the main AI brain, and then it's going to have some effect on that AI brain. Whatever. So, the first thing I would like to talk about is that every time I watch Fox News, excuse me, I get a little tingle. And why is that? Let me tell you. I'm almost 50 years old. And I've never in my life, never, ever enjoyed watching the news as I am these days. And I'm thankful for President Donald Trump. Excuse me. Because boy, oh boy, he surrounded himself in a gang of beautiful women, and I am delightful because every time I turn the news and I watch Carolyn Levitt speak, I do a And then when she finished speaking, I watched me an interview with Pam Bondi. God damn, Pam Bondi, man. Yeehaw. I'm watching that Pam Bondi interview on repeat, and then I'm turning on to Tulsi Gabbard. Mamma mia. Oh la la. Tulsi, why won't you keep on talking and explaining whatever is that you're talking about? Because I like watching you, baby. I like watching you, baby. I like that. Mi piace. And then, when I think that everything is over with, I see a new video on my feed. And it's of Kristi Noem. Ooh, mama. I'm watching that Kristi Noem interview, that Kristi Noem speech, and I'm clapping. I am clapping, baby. I am clapping, Kristi Noem, baby. OMG. Yeah. And then, what do I have? After I watched all those interviews, I watched Alina Habba. Habba dabba doo. Have you seen Alina Habba in a full body photo? Oh, I got me a tingle. And then I have Kelly Loeffler. She is the administrator of the Small Business Administration. Like I give a crap what she does, because she definitely moved my Loeffler. Oh my God. And that's why I love President Trump. I love it because this stuff is beautiful. This is beautiful. I never enjoyed watching the news. Bam, what's that? This is Janet Neshayewit. I'm not sure if I pronounced that last name correctly. Neshayewit. I don't know. Janet from another planet. Because Janet is rocking that figure, baby. She's nominee for Surgeon General. I'm looking at the Business Insider right now. I don't know if she got the job or not, but I hope she did because she is definitely on my list. So let me tell you, I love me some Trump. I love me some Kristi Noem. And I thank President Trump for all that he does and everything that he did for the United States of America and for the world. I think that was beautiful, and I really needed to look at those photos. Now, before I move over to stuff that I want to talk about, I remember being on OkCupid, which is kind of like a Tinder style website where you can meet girls and boys, whatever you want these days. There is no... I remember first using OkCupid. That's how old I am. It was more racist in a good way because you could have said, okay, I want thin Asian 5 miles around me. And there you go. It only shows you thin Asians 5 miles around you. Or whatever kilometers that is. Which I assume it's 1.5. I don't know. Do the math. So, and I think that was great. Because I have a need. And that's what I need. That's what I want. I have a need and a want, and that's what I want. But no. You can't do that shit anymore on OkCupid. You cannot choose a thin Asian. There is no Asian. Maybe I don't know how to use the app, but I couldn't find it. However, you can choose from about 200 genders. You have men, you have women, you have transfeminine, transmasculine, transsexual, transbembolo. Some of that, what is two souls? I don't even know what some of the stuff is over there. I have no idea what is it? It's like stuff that I don't even know that exists. What the hell is going on with this planet? It used to be very simple. You have boys, girls, and then you have boys, girls. And whatever your fetish is, man, knock yourself out. Why do I need to participate in your freaking fetish? And why does it have to be political? I don't understand. And I don't know why I'm whispering. But it just sounds more dramatic. So anyway, I don't know. So one time, not so long ago, I got banned from OkCupid. And the reason I got banned is because I swiped yes for a girl. And I admit not like reading the whole. I just saw a photo and I just clicked the like and I moved on. And then it was not, I don't know today, maybe, it was not a woman biologically, okay? Can I say it like that? Can I say that it was not born a woman, whatever that was, okay? Am I not offending anybody? I'm not gonna get blocked out of the internet and out of planet Earth. Good. But if you look at it for a minute, you're gonna be like, okay, that's over 6.5, which is right now my bottom limit. And she actually also matched with whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can call it she. Okay, let's call it she for the matter of the conversation. Matched with me as well. So we were able to exchange messages. And she made, I had a photo of me in shorts. And she made fun of me, and she called me chicken legs because I'm pretty skinny, and in that photo I'm most likely being specifically skinnier, and my legs in that photo looked, because I was skinny, so my leg looked skinny and my body looked, and you know what, that's the way I am. You don't like it, go fly a kite, I don't care. And then she called me chicken legs. And she started cracking up, and she made fun of me, basically. And I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I appreciate the feedback, because this way I know which part of the photo I should take out, because if she thinks that maybe other women or it are also, maybe they also think that I'm a chicken leg. So I was like, cool, thank you, appreciate it. And by the way, you kind of look like my uncle. And I didn't mean to retaliate in a sense that she called me chicken legs, and in return I call her, I say that she looks like my uncle. I honestly said, because she had that face, I was like, she reminds me of someone. I was like, yeah, that's my uncle. And then I got banned from OkCupid because she went and complained about me and flagged me, and they say that they saw, they can see the communication, and they saw the messages, and they saw that I told her that she looks like my uncle. And let me ask you a question, if he, whatever it is, chose, let's say she was born with a penis, and then she decides, she's like, okay, she's doing whatever she's doing to look like a woman, whatever, that's your thing, go ahead. But in the same way that I was out there with my shorts and I exposed myself, I was not naked, but I had my legs out, and then she came and she called me chicken legs, then she chose to show herself, or he chose to show himself in a specific way. So why can't I, at the same way that she called me chicken legs, call her, you look like my uncle? And I just don't understand how this system works, and I think it's not cool. Because honestly, he had the face kind of like my uncle, and I wanted to tell her, listen, actually, I thought I'm having a conversation. Hey, you know that kind of conversation when you see a girl, oh yeah, you remind me of that actress, and she's like, yeah, which actress? Oh yeah, and I thought I'm doing that. I don't know what she thought when she told me I have chicken legs, but I was just trying to make conversation. I thought you guys told me, oh yeah, really? Is that a compliment or whatever? But no, they are two souls person, decided to flag me and block me, and they blocked me out of OkCupid completely. So it's just a story I wanted to say, to share, and I don't know whatever you take from it. But I think we're living in a funny world, and if you don't think it's funny, then you are the object of the funniness. And speaking of the objects of funniness, I have a few more questions about what's happening with this generation. Not in a bad way, I'm just questioning in a sense of why. Like, I don't see the common sense. You want to protest the use of oil, and you want to protect the environment, and then you take paint, which is a highly chemically processed product, that creating that paint most likely is damaging the environment by itself, and then also cleaning that paint, which you know they will have to clean, also involves materials that are not environmentally friendly. And then you take that paint and you go to a museum, and like a 5-year-old, your whole game is to take paint that possibly it's oil-based paint, and I know how much you love oil. Might not be the same oil 1-1, but still oil that had to be distilled out of something, and energy had to be consumed in order to produce it anyway. And then you take the paint and you spritz it. You take it and you smash it all over 200 years or 400 years piece of art, whatever, painting in a museum that probably worth millions of dollars, like the art piece, and you're happy about it. And that's your way to protest. And you think that by doing that, I'm going to stop putting oil in my Vespa, putting gas. And I will see you doing that, and I will be like, you know what? That's it. I'm converted. You have just converted me into the green movement, and I am not interested in doing anything. I'm not farting anymore, okay? I'm done. I'm going to kill my cat and stop farting, and that's it. I'm going to be a green person, you know? I'm gonna be like you. Right? Right. And then you go and you sit on the road in the middle of the afternoon, where people who actually have bill to pay and kids to feed and rents and mortgages and stuff, you know, they need to buy food to eat. They really have problems in their lives because life is not easy for most people. And most people in the middle of the day, let's say around 11, okay, because I know in some countries, I was surprised to find out that in some countries, middle of the day, they go home and eat with their family and go to sleep for an hour, and then they wake up and then continue their day. They drink an espresso. Whatever, that's a different conversation. And then in the middle of the day, let's say 11 a.m., you sit in the middle of the road and you take nothing other than glue, which is it's a highly polluted highly polluting material that has most likely involved a lot of oil producing and a lot of bad energy, quote unquote, and out of not green energy to produce. And then you put that glue on your palm and you stick the palm. I'm sorry. This is just freaking hilarious to me. And then you stick your palms to the road so people cannot move you. And then you block traffic for tens, if not hundreds, of like pissed off people who are just trying to get by another day. And you believe in your heart of hearts that those people who now sit in traffic and use all the curse words they know in their vocabulary, you believe that those people now will go home and say, you know what, babe, you're my wife, I love you, I want to provide to you, but you know what, today those people who glue themselves to the road, they really changed my mind. They really converted me, and now I'm not going to drive a truck anymore. I'm going to quit my job, and I'm not going to fart anymore, and I'm just going to take the train or whatever public transportation I have, and I'm going to work in a job that is not creating any pollution. Yeah, that's what you think. When you go home, that's what you really think. If that's what you think, you're a freaking idiot. That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta tell you. What can I say? You know, my beard is full of white hair, and seeing people like you is just like, wow. I'm just happy. I'm just happy I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, man. I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I could come back home from school and sit next to my parents' stereo, you know, and I had no cables, no cable TV. We had no video VHS, but we had a vinyl, we had a stereo. I could put in an Iron Maiden LP, and if my parents were not home, you know, I could listen to that like kind of like loud in the speakers. And if my parents were home, I would put the headphones on, and I could listen to this Iron Maiden album that just came out, and I was like in the 4th or 5th grade or 6th grade. I could listen to that, and I could close my eyes, and I could imagine. I could activate my imagination and listen to the music, and I could also look at the cover of the LP and see the artwork, and I could just hang out, laying on my back, singing with the music, listening to the instruments. Let me tell you, I'm just happy I had this kind of childhood, and I wasn't busy with trying to figure out if I you know, I'm a he, she, L, G, two souls, four souls. Am I trans feminine or trans masculine? No, man. I just knew I had balls, dick and balls, you know. I knew I had them. That's all I knew. I didn't know exactly what I'm going to do with them. I kind of like knew, but I wasn't like paying at that point. I mean, I was like fourth grade, you know. Yeah, I had a crush on a girl, but you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just happy I grew up in the 80s and 90s. That's all I gotta say. Boom. What else? What else do I have on my agenda? All right, so I spoke about this. I spoke about that. Yeah, I think you're stupid. And then, all right. So let's get real and talk about stuff of the moment. And the hottest stuff right now on the planet is the Israeli-Gaza war. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What the hell are we talking about over here? We're talking about a mess. Okay. So first of all, I just want to express my opinion and my thoughts about a few facts. So, the first fact I would like to talk about is, let's see how many hostages. So, according to Brave, the AI thing, search engine AI, overall 251 people were taken hostage during the October 7 attack. 251. 251. Right? People were taken hostage during the October 7 attack. 251. Let's see how many Israeli soldiers killed in Gaza. So as of July 8, 25, the number of Israeli soldiers killed in the Gaza operation since October 7 reached 888. 888. Yeah? 888. That's 2.5 times the amount of hostages there are in Gaza. So I'm not a statistician. I'm a high school dropout. I don't have any university degree. Oh man. But let me do the math and tell you what I think. If you have 251 hostages, then you're an idiot. If you lost $250 and you are spending $888 just trying to get back to $250, then maybe you're doing something wrong. Because not only you lost $250, now you also lost $888. And please forgive me for making this kind of like using this. I mean, I know these are human lives and this is dollars, but I'm just trying to prove a point over here. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. I believe that Israel should have pulled a Putin on those people. And what do I mean by that? A few years back, I'm not sure how many, you can look it up, a bunch of terrorists, Islamic terrorists, they took over like a theater or cinema in Russia or whatever that was, and they took all the people inside as hostages, and they said, until you give me this and that, we're not letting the people go. And what Putin did, he injected lethal gas into this theater and killed everybody, including the hostages. Right? So what you going to do now? You going to do it again? No. Because I don't care about the hostages. So you lost all your leverage. But if this is negotiation. Are you stupid? This is negotiation. And they took the hostages trying to create leverage, and you are playing into their hands. You idiot. Now, you're at war for 2 years. You have not rescued the hostages. Maybe not, maybe some, but not all of them. You have not destroyed Hamas. You have not won the war. Right? You killed almost in that specific, let's say, I'm sure the numbers are bigger overall from all the other stuff, but let's say 900 Israeli soldiers, 888. You have caused massive damage economically. And I'm not talking about the life that has been taken, and I'm not talking about all the people that got hurt. I'm not talking about all the animals that got hurt, all the cats and dogs and nature that has been destroyed in the process. And the damaging global opinion that has been made to the state of Israel and to the whole Jewish people all over the world. You have what do you have to show for yourself now? Nothing. The only thing this guy achieved is that he is still in power. That's it. That's the only thing he cares about. He doesn't care about shit. This guy, Bibi, his son is sitting in Miami. His other son is sitting wherever in DC. He has whatever 3 or 4 houses. He's chilling, right? Okay, they tried to take him out a few times. Very nice. He didn't lose any family, as far as I know. He doesn't give a shit. He made money. He made money. He's making money. He's in power. That's it. He doesn't care. I'm not saying the other people are better. I'm not saying that. But right now, as an Israeli citizen, I'm expressing my thought about the Israeli government. I will get to the other side later on. But right now, I'm talking about whatever the Israeli government is doing and has done. And I'm not a lefty. If it was up to me, this whole war would have been ended in 5 days. And I'm sorry to say that. I don't care about the hostages. I'm sorry. I will say something that is not popular. If you, and I'm not saying I don't care about them like about their life like that. I'm just saying, in a sense, you put yourself in that position. And I'm going to say something is going to be very unpopular. In a sense, it's also their fault. I mean, I'm not saying 100%, but they also have a hand in it. And I'll explain. If you lived in any of those villages surrounding Gaza, you knew what kind of people live in Gaza. And even if you're smoking some heavy stuff, you still knew that they want to kill you because they're saying it. They're not hiding the fact that they want to kill you. And if you were bullshitting yourself and trying to convince yourself that no, Hamas, no, that's a different discussion. But let me tell you, they all want to kill you. And you knew it. And if you lived in those places, and you let people from Gaza work in your farms, and you trusted them. And not only that, you did not carry a gun at the minimum. If you lived in those places next to those kind of people, and you did not have a bunch of rifles and whatever weaponry that you need in your own possession, then okay, I agree that many of the blame is on the government and the army, but there is also some kind of blame on you. Because if let's say now I am an Israeli citizen and I live in Europe, you think I hang out on the street with no kind of legal weapon? And I'm not talking about a firearm. I'm talking about pepper spray. I'm talking about minimum 2 knives on me. You think I'm not doing that? Yes, I'm also an Austrian citizen. Yes, I'm also an American citizen. But, bro, if you think I don't hang out with at least 2 knives and 1 pepper spray on me in different pockets, you must be tripping. And I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about if you live in the South Bronx, an area with, if you live in New York City in the 5 boroughs and you don't have some kind of protection on you, whatever minimum pepper spray, then if something happens to you, it's also on you, because you went out to that prostitute not wearing a condom. So if you get an STD, that's also on you. And the same goes to the Nova Festival, which is also a different conversation. But if you make a freaking rave party with minimum security, I don't know, walking distance to the Gaza Strip, okay? When there is only whatever fence between you and them, and you do acid and you drop ecstasy and whatever, good stuff that you had over there, and DJs and girls, and you do that, and you put yourself in that position. Nobody forced you to be there. And you're an Israeli citizen, and you know who those people are. And you said, yeah, it's going to be all right, then it's not going to be all right. Because you also made a mistake. And I don't hear those type of conversations enough from Israelis and from Jews. I do not. Take responsibility. Say it. I effed up. I went to a party. I let my son go to a party, walking distance to the Gaza Strip, knowing what people live there and what they want to do. They're not hiding it. Yes, I lived with my family, walking distance to the Gaza Strip, 5 minutes drive from the Gaza Strip. And I slept at home with my family, with my babies, and I did not even have a gun. Yeah, bro, maybe it's also on you. I know it's hard to hear, but maybe it's also on you. Because you could get a license for a gun, and all I hear is, it's the army, it's the government. Yes, it's the army and the government. Yes, I agree, but it's also on you. And every person at the end of the day is also responsible for themselves. We're not babies. You should take care of yourself. If you think, let me tell you, you should take responsibility. That's all I can tell you. I'm just going to stop right now. That's about it.